Hello and welcome to a very short discussion of Chapter 16 of Crow Country by Kate Constable. In this chapter, the action that takes place is quite straightforward. We have characters having discussions with each other after a football game that Bort has finally managed to win. The Magpies have finally won a game. All because of David's expert assistant coaching. Anyway, let's get stuck into it. As the game is finished and players are congratulating each other and David is being recognised for his efforts, Craig Mortlock approaches him and asks for his advice about something, mentioning some Aboriginal artwork that he's found on his land. But as the conversation progresses, we can see that the only reason that Craig's interested in this is because he believes that it must be worth something. He's looking for the financial gain that he can get out of this particular resource that he's found on his land. And once David says that he can't just go and do with it as he pleases, here we get the reaction from Craig Mortlock. Sacred site, you reckon? Everything's a bloody sacred site these days. Every time a farmer wants to cut down a tree or build a dam or make a bit of money, there's some bloody government official standing in his way with a piece of paper saying no. Now, what you pick up from this particular quotation is that the motivation here for Craig Mortlock is all about making money. It's all about monetary gain. And as long as he can continue to make money, he's happy. So, and he's not alone in this. And as soon as we take away his ability to make some cash, and as soon as you take away the importance of the land and his material possessions, there's very little left for him. So that shows a lot of his motivation and what drives him. And as we continue, Ellie realises that Lockie must have told his father about the stones, and that's what Craig is talking about. And we get to the end of this conversation where Lockie basically tells Sadie to go away. But we can see here in this quote that I've highlighted that Lockie dismisses her, but he acts in a way that is so similar to his father. We can see quite clearly how these characters are of the same family. And this is what Lockie says: "But nothing. Now be a good kid and get lost, will you? You're making a goose of yourself." He surveyed Sadie's hot, angry face and gave her shoulder a little shake. "See you back at the pub, yeah? I'll give you a game of pool," he said, not unkindly, then turned his back, dismissing her. Now this is pretty much the way Craig Mortlock had dealt with David in just a few lines earlier. So we can still see how on multiple levels, the older generation and the younger generation, we have the same sort of conflict being passed down from one end to the other. There's no real change in attitudes. There's no real change in values between one generation and the other. And as the chapter concludes, Sadie is very tempted to share everything that she knows with Walter. And she looks around for some sort of inspiration, and she gets it from one of the crows that simply says, "Be careful, girl." But that doesn't stop her from having this brief moment where Sadie was tempted to tell him everything. Didn't Walter deserve to know about the stones more than Craig Mortlock did? It's almost as if Sadie is starting to learn who her friends are and the people that she can trust. So that's why this chapter that's why this chapter develops this way. It highlights the passing down of the same conflicts from one generation into the other. But our character Sadie here might just be about to stop that. This has been an ETV production brought to you by Prendeville Catholic College.